Welcome back to another episode of TBR Together with Meghan and Jake. This is episode 4.
Oh, really? It's our 4th episode already?
Yes, season 1, episode 4.
How many episodes are we going to do in this season?
Fucking many as we want.
Okay.
9,000.
That feels like a bit much. Feels like we could have broken it up into a season 2 by then.
Probably not. Season 2 will just be another 9,000 episodes.
Alright. Well, what are you reading?
That'll be a lot of days. Huh?
What are you reading this week, babe?
This week I'm still listening to Heretical Fishing number 2. There's no names, just so you know, before you ask me.
Oh, no, I looked. It's all the same because I was looking at on Audible the other
Heretical
day.
Fishing 1 through 6.
Yeah. So I was looking at them on Audible. I was looking at all the different covers to see if I could figure out what each of the books was about.
No.
You cannot.
You can't. It's just a goofy little drawing, usually of the different animals, or one of them, two of the people are sitting on, I would assume it's Fisher and Maria, and then there's like a little baby crab on one of their heads. I like that one. I think the one that I'm number 2, I think that's the one where Sergeant Snips is throwing Rocky out into the ocean. So I'm listening to that, and I just started The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. As I told you this morning, I looked at the bookshelf, and I made a wheel to make it determine what I was going to read next, so that way I didn't have to make a decision. So I left it up to fate. The wheel spun 7 times after I clicked it once.
Yeah.
The Goldfinch was the choice. So
How
that is what I'm
many
reading.
books did you put on your wheel? Like
20 to 30 maybe.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't really look that hard. I would try not to have too many of one author, so it's not like it's 14 Stephen Kings and then that.
And that's books on the bookshelf too. That's not even.
And those are all singles.
Dune, you put Dune on there. That's a commitment, isn't that like?
What's wrong with Dune? It's the same length as that one.
Is it? I don't know. In my mind, it's so long.
No.
Not
from size standpoint. That one's about 1,000 pages.
Dune's only 1,000 pages.
Somewhere around there.
I believe you.
It's not that crazy.
I just thought it was so much longer than that. Maybe it's just that the series is very they're all that long. So in my mind, it's super long. Maybe I'll read Dune with you, and we can then watch the movie.
According to this, the first edition is 412 pages. And then the paperback copy I have is 896.
Is it like a pocket paperback or pocket?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that one.
It's like teeny tiny.
That one is so compact with everything, they don't even split pages for chapters. The chapters just run into each other.
Oh, wow. That's a
size-wise and everything. Feet up for a second.
Okay.
He was up in the air. No, Dune's not that long. But I tried to listen to that years ago, but it was like a full cast, and I couldn't focus on it hard enough.
I know.
At that point, sometimes it's kind of difficult. Full cast versus just one person doing things. I don't know why.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. Sometimes I feel like the dramatized versions are harder to listen to than.
This really wasn't even like a dramatized. It was just a full cast. I mean, from what I could tell, I think there was some music, and that kind of throws me off too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
It's like you're just listening to a movie at that point.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I wasn't a huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a 1960s sci-fi, so it introduces a lot of characters very quickly. Timing and the cadence of the entire story is a lot faster than normal.
Yeah.
I think within the first 20 minutes, you've already met like 15 characters that are notable.
That's crazy.
Something like that. It was an insane amount, it felt like. Or I'm just probably exaggerating. It was probably 1.
I remember when I read Daisy Jones. Well, I listened to Daisy Jones and the Six, and I had a real problem when they were introducing characters because they casted, each main character had a different voice actor, but the 2 brothers in the band, their voice actors sounded so similar. There were parts before I fully understood who was who that it was like hard for me to keep track of who did what.
Yeah.
Because the brothers sounded exactly the same. I know they were different people because I did in fact look it up because I was like, did they just like try to pinch pennies on this one character, just cast the same person?
So, I mean, at the same rate, like when we listen to a book with one person reading it, most of the time they're not all pulling a Jim Dale and doing
That's
400
true.
different voices. These people are getting maybe 3, 4 voices tops.
Yeah.
And somehow we can still discern who they are. Yeah. Sometimes, like in Heretical Fishing, dude there's a lot of characters and a lot of names I don't remember, but like you can remember that one's a woodworker, one's a blacksmith, and then there's other people doing other things.
Such a good point. Although I feel like I don't read books with a ton of characters. Like I feel like having an insane amount of characters is like a fantasy exclusive issue. Like I don't feel like you run into that in like a ton of other genres. Like even in horror, I wouldn't say there's like a ton of characters that you meet all the time.
Depends on the length of the story and who's writing it, really.
That's true. Although I say that, and when I read Fourth Wing, when I got to Onyx Storm, there were characters, and I'm like, I've never heard of this person before, and then they were in fact talked about. All 3 like Imogen's best friend. I'm like, where did this girl come from? And then I was like, we've talked about her since book 1.
Probably.
Yeah.
But if she's
they did because I was listening to it.
Yeah, no, I know.
To go to sleep the other day, and I was like, oh, she was in fact mentioned several times.
She must have been pretty unimportant, and it doesn't really matter.
I just didn't care about that part of the story, I think, at that time.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. But yeah, so Heretical Fishing number 2, they have gotten more animals.
Even more.
More animals.
Are they all aquatic animals?
No, they're just animals. He hasn't 100% used them yet, but he currently has a bumblebee and a hornet queen.
So are they friends?
The bumblebee and the hornet queen are like getting it on almost. They're like working it a little bit because he calls him Bumble Bro and Queen Bee.
Can you tell me about this book? It's hilarious.
It's fantastic. He's like, oh, because it gives you perspective from the bumblebee. Yeah. And he like talks about his god opening he lives in
a hive
basically by himself for a while because he scares everything else off, but because he scares the honeybees because he's not a honeybee, he's a bumblebee.
Yeah.
So he's living in the hive by himself, but he keeps like talking about his god coming and opening the top and then like revealing the sunlight looking at him, and then darkness comes back over him, and like but then he actually, because he's moderately like ascended, he goes to save she's not a hornet queen, she's the queen of the honeybees. That's my fault, I said that wrong.
Oh, that makes more sense.
He saved her from a group of hornets that attacked their hive, so he went in and beat the shit out of these hornets, and then like kind of he got stabbed and like stung and all this shit, but he saved the queen. Then the queen thought that he was gonna try and kill her and like all this, but now they're like kind of like kissing on the down low, because last time Fisher opened the hive, they both got pissed. Like the queen bee like scurried away into another room, and then like he came out and like darted up into his face. Like the bee's like staring at him, like giving like flapping his wings harder at him, like being like ugh. As he's just like staring. He's like, whoa, sorry, Bubble Bro. And it's fantastic. And then he also has a pelican now.
Oh.
And the lemon tree, of course.
Right.
And that's, I forget the title. It's something Admiral, like Rear Admiral Lemony Thicket is what he named that one. Lemon for short, because she's a lemon tree.
I feel like the opportunity to just name her Lem.
No, Lemon.
Right there.
He comes up with the most ridiculous names. Like that's his thing, because every time a new creature ascends, like he's like, they don't have a name,
so and
then everybody gets pissed. They're like, you're terrible at naming these things, and he's like, what are you talking about? Because then he names he names the pelican William, some long name, like Corporal William Johnson, or like what I can't remember exactly what it is. He's like Bill for short.
This would be me if I had to come up with names for animals.
Because he has a massive bill. And when he finds Bill, Bill is carrying an egg there were some pelicans that took over Bill's nest, and he gets mad, and they were making love in his nest. So
Rude.
They laid an egg, and he goes and attacks them and like kills the other birds because he's like mad. Then he realizes, oh, there's an egg here. So he takes care of the egg. Well, that one gets hatched, and then they feed it to fish to let it awaken, and then it grows like 20 times the size, and now that one's just named Pelly.
It's gonna be a rough day when Pelly finds out that the pelican she thinks is it a she or he? Or an egg?
She's a she.
She's a she, Pelly. It's gonna be a rough day when Pelly finds out that Bill, excuse me, did in fact kill her parents.
I can't remember. I don't think he might not have actually killed him. He dive bombed him and like got him away. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it was more like probably scared him away type of thing. Felt like they were. I
feel like that happens in the animal kingdom all the time. You just accept it and move on.
Rocky tried to eat Bill at one point. He grabbed him by the neck and was going to try and eat him. Rocky did that.
Rocky's a crab, right?
Rocky's a crab. Rocky is the crab that's trying to hook up with Sergeant Snips.
Right. Why would he eat a bird?
For fun.
Oh, okay.
He literally said that. He just thought it would be funny if he ate it.
Because I was like, I don't understand. Do they just not follow normal food, or
he just wanted to do it just for fun?
Okay.
They don't really care sometimes. They're massive crabs.
That's true. They're giant.
And then now he has a dog as well.
Rocky has a dog, or Bill?
Fisher has a dog. His name is Brigadier Borks.
I thought you were going to say Barks.
That's what they said. They're like, why wouldn't he be called Barks? He's like, he looks more like a Bork. That's the exact reason. Because
I hope one day you get to meet this author.
I hope so. In a very literal sense, the dog is a hellhound, and it's a demon from another dimension.
Wow.
The people from the first book, from the cult of the Leviathan, summoned to this plane to kill Fisher.
And now they're BFFs.
Yeah, because in the first book, Fisher was drunk off his ass and just laid this motherfucker out. Just beat the brakes off this dog with like one slap. Hand. And then but all the other beings at that time, like Snips and Claws, were there as well. So they kind of attacked him too. So he went back and he ended up back in his dimension because he can just rip a portal through time and space.
Whenever, the dog?
Yeah, the dog can just open a portal and just walk through. So he went back to his plane, and he was like, however long he was there, he was like, you know what? I fucking dig it. Those guys are cool. They're a cohesive team. He's like, I want to be a part of their squad. So he fucking rips a hole back through, jumps back in, and he ends up on the beach with everybody there. Well, now there's 47 more ascended beings. So he finds Fisher and everybody there, but everybody's just trying to fucking blast the shit out of him and beat him up.
Right.
But somehow he just becomes ethereal, and he's just like a wisp, and just he's a giant dog, but they can't touch him. So he can read Fisher's mind. So he's reading his mind to try and figure out what Fisher thinks is the scariest dog that he can think of. He can shapeshift into any dog
the
possible.
Magic system in these books is intense.
It's wonderful. At this point, he's only been shapeshifting into different dogs. So he shapeshifts into a Chihuahua.
Because that's what Fisher thinks is
Fisher's
the scariest
dog. It's the scariest dog because it's just a freaking weird ass dog.
And they never shut up.
So he's sitting there doing the whole Chihuahua shake and barking at him. And he's in a monologue of Borks, he's like, I don't understand why he thinks this dog is so scary, but this is the being that I want to be to show him that I'm tough enough to be a part of his crew. And then he loves it, so it's fantastic. And then they keep him around, and then he just shapeshifts into different dogs. Sometimes he rides him like a horse, or Maria will hop on, and they'll just go running across.
I would exclusively picture this dog as Clifford.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, he's just a giant hellhound most of the time with a snake's tail and shit. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, it's
it's wild.
But most of a lot of the time he's just a golden retriever. Or he turns him into he goes into a greyhound sometimes. whatever Fisher's thinking, like whatever dog, he's just kind of like, oh yeah, this dog, and then he just boom becomes that dog.
Yeah.
To kind of show Maria like different dogs to a certain point.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
What a fun, weird little pet.
Yeah, it's great. So the church is still evolving. They're still doing more things. More people are, currently people from the town or the crown, because the people think that he's part of the crown.
Right.
Fisher is. So the people
everything you've told me, I could understand that thought process.
So currently the people in Gormona they have a relic room where that is where all of the things are. There's just relics in there, and there's screens that are like, boom, this being ascended, this being ascended, this being ascended, this person leveled up this skill, this skill, this skill. And so that's where the system's located, is in their relic room, but they haven't been used for years. So everybody's been using fake names. So the 5 people that we met for that were the fishing club last week. They made all these fake names. One was Boat Goat, Lizard the Wizard, Bog Dog.
Right.
Alliterations of different things to be like, oh. So the crown just automatically thinks all these creatures are ascending. And that's all they think, is that there's just creatures. They don't think humans are at all.
Right.
The king literally thinks that it's the dumbest idea that humans would evolve, ascend again. He doesn't think that'll ever happen. He's like, don't be silly. We need to look for this lizard. They literally think a little lizard is evolving.
Can't wait for him to find out that he is dead wrong.
They're about to. Because, well, they pretty much already have. Because currently, Barry, Fisher's neighbor, has the crown prince in a cell in the bottom of the church.
On purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
So
interesting choice.
He's terrible. His name's Trent. He's a douche.
The royal?
Trent, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a pain in the ass.
Well,
so they're trying to get him to become a cultivator because he hates cultivators, because he's a total dickhead to cultivators. So they just keep feeding him fish, and first they were only giving him lemonade because Fisher's been making lemonade now because he's got lemonade from
his lemon trees
from Lemony Thicket. So he's been making.
Who's got the sugar? How'd they get sugar?
They can get sugar.
Oh, okay. It's just like a normal thing that everybody has. Okay.
Sugar's more normal.
Okay.
There's only a few things that are like regulated, that sort of stuff, and growing. The sugar's not that hard. Like honey, he's also not supposed to have honey, but then he has the hives and everything. He does all that himself. But so they've been feeding Trent this stuff to try and get him to ascend, and then they finally decide to give him fish because they're like, well, that will be what pushes it over the edge and makes him become that.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't try and like talk to him ahead of time or like say anything and be like, hey, we need to do this, or like whatever. So when the system boots up in you, it says, please pick a name. He just automatically fucking names himself Trent. So then it pops up in the capital and it's like, Trent has ascended. So now the king's like, well, what the fuck? So that's pretty much like right where I'm at.
And there's 4 more of these books?
Yeah.
Okay. It's about to get real crazy.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
It's a cozy book. There's not going to be that much. It's not going to be that crazy. It's.
Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I can't wait to hear more.
Yeah, me too. So what are you reading?
I just finished Wild Reverence and cried. There were hellhounds in that too, but they were a lot different.
They're not as cool as Brigadier Borks.
Probably not. They were translucent, which I thought was interesting. So like people would see, because they only come out at night. Mm-hmm. They were in Divine Rivals too.
Yeah.
But I think they came out more in Ruthless, the second one. Mm-hmm. But they only come out at night, and what it is, because they're translucent and it's dark, you can't really see them, but their hearts like glow. Mm-hmm. So people would just see these like glowing lights running at 80 miles an hour at them, and that's when they were like, well, I'm gonna die. And what?
No, go ahead.
But it was really good. There was this scene towards the end. I don't want to like spoil too much because it was a really good book. and I would like everyone to read it. But there's a point where Matilda, the main character, is in the wastelands, which is like where you go when you die. And there is a giantess, basically. She takes out one of her eyes and gives it to Matilda so Matilda can see when someone's crossing. But she basically sits there and listens to you tell your life story, and she decides whether or not you get to go to the mists and have like a peaceful eternity. And if she doesn't think that your stories are interesting enough or you didn't live a fascinating life, she's like, no, you don't get to come. And so they just like wander the wastelands and go crazy. But there's a little boy that comes because he died, and he's like maybe 2. And so obviously he can't tell stories. And so Matilda is like, I'm taking you back because so he gets there and he can say like 3 words. He can say like mom, dad, and he says Vincent, which is Matilda's soulmate. And Matilda immediately thinks that this boy is Vincent's son because the gods don't love their children. So like the thought that your child would call you mom or dad and not your full government name never occurs to her. So like that's sad in and of itself that she has this like whole inner monologue of having to deliver what she thinks is her soulmate's son. What? I'm sorry.
And you're like all the way out.
I didn't mean. Sorry. Let me scoot back in. Just trying to get cozy. But she has this like whole struggle of.
The camera got bumped.
Sorry. She just has this like whole struggle of. This is he must have moved on because Vincent doesn't know where she is. She had to leave and couldn't tell him where she was going. It was like a whole thing. So she takes this adorable little baby back, but when she takes if she takes someone back to the living realm that has died, they have to go through their worst nightmare with Matilda. And like that was super sad too because he just like clings to her because he doesn't know what's going on, and he's so like that entire part made me cry. And then you hear that entire like why he's there. The little boy, I think his name was Tristan. Like you find out how Tristan died. He just died of a fever because they just live in like a medieval like old time. Yeah. So he like dies of a fever, but you get to see him from Vincent's point of view, and like the way that he talks about just how when you have kids, you no longer measure time the same way, and like everything feels so slow. But then like you look at, I'm gonna cry right now because I like was literally in Barnes and Noble listening to this, like slowly tears running down my face. How you measure time so much differently with them because it feels like it's so slow and it's not going anywhere. But then like you look back and they've changed so much in just a year. And I was like, this child has like nothing to do with the plot of this story and is like emotionally destroying me. But the mom can't bury him, and Matilda ends up bringing him back, and he like goes back to his body. And that's how Vincent realizes that Matilda's not dead. She's just in the wastelands, and so he decides he's going to wait for her. But you find out at the end of the book that the whole reason that she writes Wild Reverence is because the typewriters that you see in Divine Rivals were made with Matilda's magic. And like Enva calls in her favor that Matilda owes her for a whole bunch of other stuff I'm not going to explain. But she calls in her favor to help this dying child that Enva adores have her magical typewriters to write to her friends before she dies. And then those are the typewriters that are then passed down to Roman and Iris in Divine Rivals, that then leads to them like ending this war with the gods and leaving one god left. I did make Brooke crash out because I did not understand why in Divine Rivals, well, you find out in Ruthless Vows, Enva is one of 2 gods left by the time it's all said and done. It's like her and Dacre, and they're causing this entire war and like wreaking havoc. Mm-hmm. She kills a bunch of gods while they're sleeping, and she can't kill Dacre because he like because vows are magically binding in their world, and she didn't realize that when she like agreed to marry him. She just wanted him to stop murdering people. So she can't kill him because of that, but she also can't kill him because her hands are super swollen and like she can't play her music, and it's like very devastating because that's like her thing. She's like a god of music and revelry. But then in Wild Reverence, these gods are killing each other left and right with zero consequences. And I'm like, I do not understand why she is being punished and literally no one else in any of the series has having this problem, that they are losing dexterity or they like lose connection to their major power or like to their original power. They just like kill each other willy-nilly. And we have decided that it is because she takes so much magic at once. And like, I mean, you don't know when she's like explaining who she kills like 5 gods while they're sleeping, or 4, but you don't know how much power those gods have because they mention them, and like 3 of them you've never even heard of, and you don't even meet them in Wild Reverence, so you don't know. But I would like some more follow-up on that from the author, but I don't think we're gonna get it. I guess she came out and said like she's like that was it. That's all she had to say about that world, and she's done, and she's moving on to her next series. But I'll probably read it. It was really good. And then I started The Bewitching, which I did not realize was a horror book, but I'm 20% in and committed at this point.
I doubt it's that bad.
No, right now it's just about it's multiple timelines, which I know a lot of people have a lot of feelings about. But it's 3 timelines about 3 different women who I'm sure are eventually going to be related in some way, shape, or form, or cross paths in some way, shape, or form. And it's their stories about their interactions with great witches. So we'll see how that goes. So far,
yeah,
it's very weird. The one girl is like a graduate student obsessed with a horror author, and the horror author wrote a book called The Vanishing that was about a witch. So that's going to be one of the stories we're going to hear about, like the truth behind The Vanishing, which I'm sure is going to be something to do with the witch. I don't know who she's going to meet that's a witch, but she's got to meet somebody. And then there's like this really, really old timeline with this girl. And she's got this weird relationship with her uncle. And I feel like I'm really hoping I'm just reading too much into that because I don't need any incestual relationships. I know it's a horror book, but like that's just, nobody needs that. But her uncle is very weird to her. Like he gave her a necklace and was like, wear it to church tomorrow. And she's like, my mom's gonna yell at me. He's like, wear it. What is happening? So like there's something definitely weird going on there. But I don't know if it's like a sexual thing or if like she is got, because the premise of this book is that witches are born. They're born a witch. So like I don't know if maybe she's a witch and just doesn't know it, because she's also like alluded to that she knows things just by like taking a couple deep breaths. She can like feel energy. So I don't know if maybe he's going to try to recruit her or kill her because she's a witch. Yeah. Because that would be less creepy than what the current vibe is, honestly. So, but it checks off like 4 Goodreads bookmarks. And I'm still really pissed I missed my one in September, but I'm going to see if I can get the ones for the rest of the year. And then I'll just be one short. Not that they matter, because you can't even get them like printed out or something. I know.
It's all about the love of the game.
It really is for that. It does. I do enjoy that it exposes me to different authors. However, as somebody who has done the bookmarks now for 2 years, I feel like they just reuse a lot of the same books.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, which just feels like a cop-out.
What do you expect? Goodreads is an Amazon-owned company.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they're
not going above and beyond to do anything special for anybody.
That's true.
That's why you use other
Fable,
apps.
Yeah,
that's why you
use
and
I do like Fable. I wish Fable did something. Yeah, sorry.
because you're leaning back too far.
I'm sorry. Is that better?
Well, yeah, because I have the camera in the middle.
Yeah.
Of the table, and you see your mic's a foot and a half away from the table.
I can lean
so
forward.
That's where you
I was
are.
just cold, so I was like
no,
leaning
it's fine
back.
because you have your chair turned differently than you did before.
Yeah.
So
I'll get you.
You sit wherever you need to. I'm just saying, like it's better. It's better when you're actually there and you're seen.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, so we were going to talk about
One-star romance.
One-star romance, and I looked up who the author was, and I've already forgotten. Laura Hankin.
Mm-hmm.
Hankin, I believe. This
is one of our book of the month picks.
Yes, this was a book of the month, and I don't know if it was her debut or not. We've never read anything else by this woman.
No.
Probably would. I mean, I don't mind, but I only read things like this when I need just something short and quick.
Yeah, like a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would read a book by her again. It took us, almost 6 months to get through the first.
Well, that's because we stopped
400
reading it.
I know, because it was slow. I will say I did appreciate it felt very realistic. Like it wasn't a romance book that felt out of reality, which I feel like a lot of them do. Like there wasn't a fake dating, because I don't think anybody actually fake dates.
Realistic means, yeah.
Yeah. There wasn't like a fake dating trope or like a one bed trope. Like none of that stuff was happening.
There kind of was.
There was almost
There was one
bed
at one point. There was one bed and a couch.
Yeah, that's true. But I just felt like it was really, really slow, and then it took like such a drastic.
It was, because that was like right wherever we had, kind of stepped away from reading the physical copy, like within 6 pages is where it was like everything blew up in everybody's face.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what happened at this point.
Oh, I do. Okay. So for anybody who has never read this book or heard of it, it starts off with the main character, Natalie, is a aspiring author. She wants to write a book, but she can't find the right book, and she's always dating the wrong guy.
For herself, yeah. At this point, she has ghost written a story.
Well, not yet. This is
that was the flash forward, because this book has about 46 flash forwards.
Yeah, I would say
where it starts at one point and then it's like, oh, here we go, and then it jumps like 2 or 3 years in advance, and then like another 2 or 3, and then another 2.
It probably spans over 10 years. From the start.
Yeah, it's a lot of time, and a lot of time jumps.
Yeah, so it starts off. Natalie's an aspiring writer, and she lives with her best friend Gabby in New York City. They have an apartment together, and they go to a bar, and Gabby is all frazzled, and they're going to meet Gabby's current boyfriend Angus, who Natalie hates with a passion. She feels that Angus is like dipping in on their friendship and their friend time, and she's over it. And she is
very selfish with Gabby's time.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm ready for you two to break up.
Yeah.
And then they show up at the bar for Gabby's birthday. She thinks it's for Gabby's birthday.
Yes, but it was an engagement.
Yep. Party. She shows up, and Angus proposes, and Gabby enthusiastically says yes, and Natalie is like, this can't be real.
Yeah.
My friend doesn't even like him. And they go to the bathroom, and she's like, you want to go? Like, should we, we're not doing this, right? And Gabby is like, no, I love him. And Natalie's like, yeah, but I hate him. So
Natalie has a lot of issues.
Yeah, and then Natalie,
personal issues, and I do hope that character is not based on the author in any way, shape, or form. I hope that we're not sitting here ragging on old girl.
Yeah.
But that character was awful.
Yeah.
In the fact that she thought that, especially because later on, spoiler alert, her friend has a baby, and she's mad that her friend has a baby because now her friend won't get to spend near as much time with her.
I think, as awful as that is, I think the fact that she writes a book that is basically a 300-page hit piece on Gabby's husband.
Yeah.
And just puts him in this worst, awful light, and ends with them getting divorced because that is her dream scenario, and then doesn't understand why Gabby stopped reading it and won't support it.
And why her other friend, why Rob, that gentleman who is Angus's best friend.
Yes.
And we'll say this, Angus is the best character in the entire story. He's the nicest fucking dude. And he's a finance bro that
hates being a finance bro.
Yeah, he hates it. And he literally quits his job because they tell him that he can't have vacation that he needs or take the time off. He literally quits just to be with his girl. And
his parents also are they're
the futon
king and queen, and he, as much as he tried not to
his brother is great.
Angus is great, and Rob is his best friend, and him and Natalie hit it off at the engagement party, and then Natalie writes this hit piece on Angus, and Rob reads it and gives her a 1-star review, and she then holds on to that forever and never lets it go.
Well, she was partially upset about that too, because he said that he didn't even know like what Goodreads was. But she's sitting there like scrolling it, checking her reviews for her book, and how everybody's giving her, 4s and 5s, and then she has that one and she dwells on it for the rest of her life.
And I think he calls it like derivative or something like that.
Yeah, he said a whole bunch of words talking about how terrible it was. But in that, straight up, like you don't know yet that it's all ripping on Angus until he says something later to her about it. Yeah. And he calls her out on her shit. And she's like, well, no, I changed everything about that character. And which apparently wasn't true, because then later on, the guy that she wrote his book, wants to turn her book into a movie.
TV show,
whatever.
They turn it into a TV show.
Yes. And so he is going to play Angus or Rob.
Yeah, Angus's character.
He was going to be Angus. And obviously nobody was telling Angus that it was based on him.
Right, but then and he never read it.
Yeah. So dude throws it out there and is talking about him. No, Angus did read the book. He just didn't know.
Oh, I just thought he said he read it and didn't actually read it.
Pretty sure he said it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But yeah. So that happened.
Yeah, so her celebrity she ghost wrote for spoils it all. And then everybody's pissed and nobody wants to talk to Natalie. And they're not going to talk. And Natalie and Gabby are never going to talk again. And that's kind of where we stopped reading it together. Because No,
we stopped way before that.
Oh, way before
we
that.
Had no idea about the show or the book or
That's
anything.
true. We stopped right around the time that she ghost wrote. And then we started reading it separately. And that happens and you're like, okay, how are they going to come back together and be friends? And then Gabby gets diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer or something crazy like that. Yeah. And
she gets sick.
She gets really sick. And they don't know if they're going to be able, if she's going to make it.
And that was at the time when they had the kid. So the kid was 3 or 4 years old at that point.
Mm-hmm. And then it got really sad.
Because the child couldn't understand that her mom was dying. Well, possibly dying.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to do this whole production of a Christmas play or something at the house with the child. And she didn't want to participate because she wanted to do something else.
She wanted to watch a Blippi or something. Yeah.
So it kind of, it upset all the adults, but she's a child. She doesn't understand. So, they let her go watch her show, obviously. But then that's when Natalie and Rob performed the entire thing together, and then they fell in love for real.
Yeah, because I would say he was engaged, and then around the time that Natalie's book gets turned into a TV show, Rob's life is falling apart.
Yeah, his woman's cheating on him with a coworker.
Yeah, another
new guy
professor
at her office.
And it was, how did she say it? She was like, I didn't want to love him, but you just can't deny this chemistry. And Rob's like, why am I here?
Yeah.
It probably really does suck because everybody loves a love story and he's just the poor guy that didn't do anything wrong. He just
because they
wasn't the love of her life.
They ran into each other again, Natalie and Rob, at the rehearsal dinner, correct? Because was it the rehearsal? Whatever it was, it's when he was getting all drunk and everything, and everybody was like, "What the fuck is he doing?" That was Christmas party.
It was a Christmas party.
Everything's a Christmas party in this book
because he gets really drunk, and then his mom had like gone to the city to see a play, and his dad has dementia, and the neighbor is like calling him because his dad went over and is yelling about like the Christmas lights or something, and how it's June and they shouldn't be up, but it's December, and that's how Rob finds out that his dad is not doing
way worse off than he thought.
Yeah,
and his dad's always been a douchebag. He's big corporate guy as well, just like Angus's father. And what is he?
He's a professor. He's like or a
same
doctor.
Fucking thing.
Well, because like Rob's whole thing is that he's in academia trying to like impress his dad, and it's never enough to impress him. So yeah. Sorry, continue.
That's where I was going with it. It's fine. You said it all.
Yeah, he's just never enough. And then he thinks he's going to impress his dad and he's going to make it. And now he realizes his dad's not going to remember anyway. So that was also super. Yeah, it just got super sad. And then Gabby doesn't end up dying, so that's good. It ends on a happy note.
Who cares?
She like comes out of surgery A-okay. They got it all.
Angus did a zip line at the wedding.
Yeah. And it went terrible.
That was the most important part of the whole story.
I forgot about that.
And Natalie decided his entrance into his own wedding. He wanted, and Gabby was cool with it too. She was like, it's his day as well. So like he decided to zip line across the pond to the altar. Gets about halfway, the zip line gets stuck, so he falls into the pond. And he kind of pops up and is like, "Oh, here I am," and like everybody's kind of like gasping and like, "Oh shit!" But then Gabby just runs into the pond and dives in after him.
Full dress, makeup, all of it.
Yeah, they did the whole thing because they're like, "Oh, I love this. I love these people."
And it takes to that point for Natalie to be like, maybe I don't fully understand my best friend, because she thinks that like the zip line is going to be.
Oh yeah, she thinks it's going to be the worst thing. It's going to make them get divorced. They're not going to go through with it.
She's like, this is what's going to get Gabby to realize Angus is not for her.
Because Natalie wants her entire life to be living in a studio apartment with Gabby. She wants nothing to change. They just want to be right there the entire time doing whatever they do, and that's all they want it to be.
Yeah. And you start to see that like Gabby doesn't trust Natalie the way that Natalie thinks that she should, because before the TV show, before all of that, before the ghostwriting goes super well, she asks Gabby to get her a job at corporate, and Gabby's like, "No, I love my job. I don't trust you enough to work there and take it seriously."
Yeah.
And yeah, that's like the start of the downfall, and then the Christmas party just like pushes it over the edge. And then she gets really mad. This part did so piss me off because like you see Natalie does grow. She doesn't she's not like, you are excited, I guess, for like her and Rob to be, because I think Rob is a likable character even when he's going through his like dark time after being left by a fiance that he didn't seem super confident that he wanted to be with when he proposed, but I don't know.
Probably just a convenience thing.
Yeah. But like he's always like, well, and you do like, you are happy when him and Natalie get together, so she gets a little better. But towards the end, when Gabby thinks that she might die and she writes all of those letters, Natalie doesn't think she wrote her a letter, and she's like, I can't believe she wrote her daughter a letter and didn't write me one. And I was just like,
I forgot about that part with the letters. Yeah,
I almost was like, we don't need to finish this. That's an insane thought.
Oh, it was crazy. Because didn't she just mail it to the wrong address because Natalie had moved and never told Gabby because they weren't talking.
Yeah.
Something along those lines happened. And then she finally got it. She's like, oh my God, she did think of me.
Yeah, it got returned to sender.
Yeah.
But even...
I mean, she kind of checked herself on that too, because then she was like... She finally realized, oh, well, yeah, you know what?
I shouldn't be jealous of a toddler.
Maybe her 4-year-old daughter is more important than me.
Than her best friend. That hasn't spoken to her in like what, 2, it was like 2 years or something they hadn't spoken.
Yeah,
it was like
years
it had been like a good chunk of time.
Yeah, it was another nice time skip for that one for how many years, yeah.
Yeah. And then Natalie and Rob come together to support Angus and Gabby through their cancer treatment. And then
they get married.
Did they get married?
Probably.
At the end? Probably in that.
I mean, they had a happy ending. I feel like there was another time jump and then they got married or something.
You're probably right. Yeah, I don't know.
We should probably bone up on these a little bit more before we get into it.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't my favorite book. I mean,
all the research we did was look up the 4 main characters' names, and then we're just going off vibes.
I still remember it pretty well.
We read this 6 months ago, and that's what we got for you. Yeah. I gave it a 4. I just checked on Goodreads.
Yeah, I did too.
Maybe retroactively it should be more of a 3, 3.5. Yeah. Probably 3.5.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I still enjoyed it. Slow start. I'd say probably about the first third to half was pretty slow start. I mean, but that's, kind of building up the tension and everything. And then, then it's all just fucking, it's like that scene in the hotel in The Shining where all the blood just starts running down the hallway. The floodgates were open.
I don't know what that means, but...
The floodgates were open.
I know what that means, yeah.
The floodgates were open.
One more time.
They got opened. The floodgates. Did you hear?
I heard.
Oh, this just in. The floodgates were opened.
That is crazy.
And in other news,
I do think
the floodgates were opened.
I do think that we were both just so relieved at the end that Gabby didn't die that we were like, probably, 4 stars. Yeah. You're just like off. You're on that high at the end of a book.
Yeah.
You should. I do think there are.
I go back all the time.
Oh really? I probably should.
Yeah, I think I went back and gave Onyx Storm a lesser star rating the last time I looked at it.
I think a lot of people.
Yeah. That was the most recent one that I remember.
Like, I say that, but then there's some books that I rate them based on like how they made me feel, not like how well they're written. Like, what was the one book? Like, well, first of all the Katie Roberts.
Yeah, those are all 5s.
What is it? The Olympus?
Dark Olympus.
Yeah.
You can never remember the name of the series.
No, I just know
You've read like 12 of these books, and you can't remember the name of the series. It's close enough.
I think it ends with 12 because I was so annoyed that she didn't do 13. Because this next book that comes out is the one I'm really excited for. Like, I've been anticipating this one. It's the Hera and Zeus one. And then the last book is after this. So, and I don't even think it's 12. I think it might only be 10. But I'm just like, the 13 is such an important number in this series. I mean,
really
honestly,
gave up after the third one.
You know what? So did Brooke. I don't think anybody is reading these books, but like me and a handful of girls that just really enjoyed Percy Jackson as a child, and it just like.
There's got to be enough people to where she keeps writing those, and she's writing like 3 other series at the same time.
Yeah, she's doing a Disney one, and
so she's probably they them.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at Instagram because I follow her. Katie Roberts on Instagram. But Katie is writing a Disney villain, but they're not really villains. It's the untold story of like the villains being the good guys. And then there's a monster one, and then the Dark Olympus. And then I think there might also be a vampire one that just started coming out. Maybe the monster one's finished now, or because
she.
Okay. But I think there's like an entire just like straight like vampire werewolf kind of series. Werewolf?
One more time for me.
Werewolf.
Thank you.
There you go.
Find the L in there.
Thank you. I think like that's one series, but like her monster series are like trying to think of what kind of monsters more mythical than
They were dragons, krakens.
Yeah. So like in a different category than vampires and yeah. I don't know the tiers of monsters. Do you know them?
I've never seen a monster cry, so I'm not sure about their tiers. I don't.
Different tier. I didn't know because you play D&D longer. I know I'm starting. We can talk about that later, but
obviously,
but I didn't know
because it's not going to be later. It's probably once you finish this sentence.
I just didn't know because you played 2 games if you knew like the hierarchy of the monster breakdowns.
I can break it down for you right now. Get up and start dancing.
You might hit a lamp.
Break it down for you. Let me break it down for you, Mark. No, it's not like we sit there and rank the monsters on a tier list.
No, I thought.
And it's not like you're just sitting there doing dragons and that. We haven't seen a dragon in either campaign. Probably not going to see a kraken either.
No.
We've been hanging out with vampires in R1.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that counts for something. A lot of wolf people. But I mean, they're all humanoid.
That's true.
Or human-esque. We talk to them. We communicate with them as normal people.
Oh, they're communicating with the kraken.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, they look people like where the wolf people have 8-pack abs and pecs that are gonna fucking blow up like a bag of Jiffy Pop on the stove.
And they turn the corner and they're like, "Where you been, Loca?" I don't think I said that right.
Terrible delivery, but I could see where you're going with that one. Yeah. No, and then in Micah's campaign, we've seen a few different ones, not more. We've just seen different ones. But mainly the creatures that we're seeing in there, we are fighting them versus in EJ's campaign where we are more speaking and communicating with them, avoiding conflict as much as we can, being that there's usually a few more of them.
Yeah.
But as you were there for the last one with Micah, since that's the campaign you're joining in on, it's at home, so it makes it a little bit easier sitting in the basement, just a few feet away from this table, to do some D&D. We were in the town and we ran into that woman, the druid Goliath that stands close to 8 foot tall.
I missed that part.
Yes, she was a Goliath. We had met her son about 2 or 3 sessions ago, in which we then brutally murdered him after he helped us cross a desert.
So just for those listening, I came in to the part where they're talking. I missed the description of her. I came in mid-conversation.
Did you? I thought you were there for that. It doesn't matter. Dalton wasn't paying attention either. So. And he's in the fucking... He was already playing. It was only me and him.
I came in mid-conversation and she's just like, well, if you see him, you let me know. Mm-hmm. And then Dalton's like, oh, is there like a reward if we see him?
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, or like alluded to the like...
He's always thinking he can get money out of anybody for something.
Right. And like I'm listening to you guys talk and I finally had to be like, do we actually know this do they know this person that they're talking about? And Mike is like, yeah, they murdered him.
I looked at you and I said that we killed her son 2 sessions ago.
That's what it was.
Because we were crossing over a desert and we had run into him. He was a bit away from us, and me being the silly, goofy fella that I am, I saw him across the desert, or not too far away from me. He was like behind a post, and I was like, huh? So I took off running directly at him.
As one does.
But he's like an earthbender, essentially.
Oh,
so
nice.
He like fucking throws up a rock wall in front of my face, and then I kind of splat.
Right.
And he says, what's your business here? I said, I just want to talk to you.
It's a very aggressive way to start a conversation, Jacob.
Well, my character's 5'5". He doesn't move very fast unless he's running.
Fair.
So then we talk to this guy, and he says that he will guide us across the desert, right? His nickname was Earthbreaker. His name was Droon. He was Earthbreaker.
Okay.
And he could, he was a Earthwalker, I think is what Micah called him. So we could travel faster underground and to avoid some of the things that were in the desert sort of stuff. So we start going, he does the whole thing. And so we're walking underground across the desert. Well, this is when we run into a Tommy knocker that normally resides in that void underground. And
I don't know what that is.
It was just a creature. I'd have to show you a picture because they're known as multiple different things. So
okay,
Micah has it as one thing. Other people call it, more like an alien type of stuff.
okay.
There's multiple different variations of a Tommyknocker. But this one was a large beast that would like chitter and do things, and it sounded like a knocker sort of thing. It made a noise. Well, so Droon says, I can get us out to get away from this thing, but we're going to be exposed in the middle of the desert. So we decided to go up. Well, it grabbed one of our NPC players that was with us. So Droon had to reach back in and pull the entire Tommyknocker out. So we fought it in the desert. We ended up beating it. I don't think we didn't kill it all the way, but we had knocked it out. And Droon was like, "Hey, you know what? You guys go over there real quick. I'm gonna talk to it. I'm gonna check this thing out." So we go walking over.
That's weird.
Yeah, and here's the thing: the NPC is obviously voiced by Micah, and Droon is voiced by Micah, and he also created the Tommyknocker. Well, after he told all of us, "Hey, you guys go stand over there," when we stood over there, he talked to us. He said, "We need to kill that thing, and kill him." And so we were kind of like, "All right." So we just fucking ambushed him, all five of us. We walked 20 feet away, and then
I like that nobody asked any follow-up questions.
Well, first I was kind of like, we should just leave him alone and go. But then him as Miss Cal, which she's not with us right now.
No, it was just the two of you when I came in.
So Miss Cal's like, we can't trust this motherfucker. And then
no reason.
This was Josh was still there. Well, it's because we're like, he brought us across here, and then all of a sudden we run into this Tommyknocker, and he wants to talk to it. She was, Michael, he was playing it up as like, this might be his pet. So he might be trying to revive it and be like, we're going to kill you guys right here.
Oh.
That sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Like, as he told us the other day, he's letting us tell the story, but he's got little things in there.
Right.
Micah's doing his job. So we ambush him. Say he's like standing here with the Tommyknocker. Yeah. We went over here, and then we just fanned out.
Because there's 5 of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Miss Cal, Dalton and Luna, Josh and me. Luna's
the dog.
His girlfriend. Sister, girlfriend, whatever she is. So all 5 of us are just
different.
Yeah. In this game, it's not. We all just attack. And we all get sneak attack, surprise attack, advantage, and everything.
Yeah.
And before he can even react, we fucking kill him.
Did you kill the thing too?
Yeah, we killed everything.
Knocker?
Yeah. Oh, it was massive. It was
the huge.
We dropped him on the spot,
knocker.
And I don't even remember what we did. I think we might have tried to bury him, or Miss Cal might have thrown a fire on him and burned their bodies. But so then we're like, yeah, okay, cool, that's done. I think we looted him first, like stole all his shit,
right,
and then left. Well, now we're running into his mother.
Yeah. How did you get through the rest of the desert? You were still halfway through, weren't you?
I don't remember how far in we were. We just kind of,
you just figured it out.
We were like, yeah, we already killed the Tommyknocker.
Just walk in a straight line. You'll get there eventually.
We already killed the Tommyknocker. We'll just get out. So, yeah, now we run into his mom, because as soon as he said Druid Goliath, I was like, fuck. Because I have my notes pulled up, obviously. So I'm like, this is Droon's mom. Because that's what I told Dalton. I was like, are we going to go over and talk to this person who could be the mom, sister, grandmother, daughter of Droon right now? Is that what we're going to do? And as he's Oh, yeah, I guess.
He's going to have lots of thoughts after he listens to this.
He's probably not even going to listen because he still hasn't texted me from 2 episodes ago, the password.
That's true.
So it's whatever.
Terrible friend.
Yeah, absolutely. But so, yeah, we went and talked to her, and he's like, oh, I'm waiting for, I swear, I don't know. I would like, I would want to go back and listen to the audio because I thought that when Micah introduced her, or like she didn't give the name of herself, but said I'm waiting for. I thought he said I'm waiting for my son, and then I asked the name, and she just said Droon. I thought that's all he said, but apparently he said the whole with the last name as well, because at that point I was not standing there. I was ignoring Dalton standing off looking at a seagull.
Yeah.
Because I was being silly. And so he's talking to her and then brings me over and he says, do you remember a Droon Flintbark? And I'm just kind of like slapping my face because I'm like, oh, fuck, we didn't get told the last name.
Mm-hmm.
But he, we found out, Micah did say, he's like, I thought I was going to catch you on that, that sort of thing. But it all worked out.
Yeah.
At that point. But yeah, I don't know. I'll be curious to see where we meet you.
Yeah.
Where you're coming in.
What are you guys like? What's your goal? Like, because I had to come up with a goal. That was part of the, like, my little mission is to, like, why I'm out and about in the.
Well, being that my character is very much, like, backstory-wise just based on Roland from
right.
Dark Tower.
Yeah, you're looking for the man in black.
I'm hunting the man in black. That's what I'm doing. And that's one reason why we're going to the old chasm, because people are saying that that's where there's a tower that the gunslingers try to chase after. So, I mean, Micah hasn't read the books, but he's using a lot of the details of it very loosely, in his own way. So we still have that. We have the gunslingers. We have, their code, the litany, and that sort of thing. It's very loose and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't remember what Dalton's thing is because, like, usually you don't share your backstory with anybody. You just make it, and then you just have your character, and then you go through.
They know, and that's how they're
the DM's always going to know. You're always going to know. Yeah. And then they just sprinkle in little bits of that stuff, just like in EJ's campaign this last week. 2 weeks ago now, because our next one is tomorrow. For the ball, we went in, and there were 20 to 30 people, something like that, within the room, and he had some of them blacked out on the picture because he just popped it up on the TV and showed us everybody there. And it's a masquerade ball. And
gotta love a masquerade.
Luckily, that character's a barbarian, so I don't remember anybody anyway. So I can't tell based on photos who these people are if we haven't seen them in 6 months, because this campaign's been going a year now.
Yeah.
So if I haven't seen that person in 6 months, I'm not going to tell who they are in a mask personally, much less in character. But like 2 months ago, he sent me photos of people from my backstory. He says, these are some people, this is your mom, your best friend, your old boss. I said, okay, so we're going to be getting into some Gaunt backstory. So at the ball, I wanted to be a fancy man. So I have,
as one does.
I have a cape or a cloak, whatever.
Oh,
and it's very wispy. So the whole time what I was doing was I wanted to wander around the ball and just talk to people wearing cloaks. So I met a bunch of people that had cloaks, and then all of a sudden he unveils one of the guys, and it ends up being a person from my backstory. And I just had to sit there and stew on it because we were going in turn order. I think I had about an hour's worth of time to just sit there and think, what the fuck am I going to say to this man? I'm just sitting there like, oh, this bastard.
Because you hate him.
Yes. Yeah. And then he called me stupid.
I'm so sorry.
So then I told EJ later on, I want to kill him. I can't kill him in the room.
Right.
Because because of all the most powerful people in the realm basically are there right now.
So you'll die.
Oh yeah, I would get one tapped immediately.
Yeah.
and then I'd be dead gornt and have to write
Make
a new
character.
New character. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I talked a little shit to that guy, and then he was like, "Oh, well, you're stupid. You're dumb."
All right.
Yeah.
That reminded me, you're talking about cloaks, because I'm making a poncho for our baby to wear in the car seat. When I was looking for like patterns on Etsy, I saw fantasy cloak patterns. And I'm like, you know what? How expensive is a fantasy cloak? Would you like to know how expensive it is to buy a cloak versus a winter coat?
Like one that has the cape or the hood with that down to the knee, or like floor length, like Sherpa on the inside.
And I'm not even talking like for your size of a person, because like the ones I looked up did not even like.
It's probably like $250 to $300.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've looked at them before.
I thought that was insane.
Because at one point I found this guy on Instagram. This was years ago, and his wife made him one at some point. Made him the whole thing, and he wore it in a video, and people were talking about how great it was and how cool it was. So they were like, "Oh, okay, we'll make a website and sign up for our newsletter. We'll let you guys know when it releases, when we open up a shop where we get a little bit of stock and figure out how we're going to do this sort of thing." It took, I want to say, at least 2 years. And then I just, out of nowhere, get an email. Boom. Cloak. Warm cloak for sale. All this shit. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I wonder how much it is. And I think it's because his wife, I don't know if only his wife was making them. It was like $400 some.
That's rough.
I'm like, no.
That's insane. Well, I did see there was a pattern for a male cloak, so the pattern was only like $5, so I could maybe. I'll let you know how the poncho goes, which is supposed to be a very easy project. Because the problem with
a cloak can't be that much harder. It would just be a piece, and then you have a clasp in the front, and everything else just hangs down. There's no sleeves. It'd just be a blanket with a hood. I feel like that would be a bit easier than cutting a hole out of the middle of a thing and doing all that.
Well, no, because like the pieces to make those would be like 7 or 8 pieces you have to sew together. So for me, that would be hard. I just sewed 2 pieces together today, and I was stressed the entire time. So
I feel like it's just like a big old blanket with a hood.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure it's time consuming when you really break it down.
Yeah, I'd have to look at the pattern. And then you'd have to decide, because the ones that I saw on Etsy had silk linings, and I was like, that feels fancy. And then I thought about reading, like, so Throne of Glass is like the only fantasy novel that I've read where they wear like legitimate cloaks instead of coats. And now I understand why they were so expensive. Because she talks about like how she has all this like high-end luxurious like cloaks, and I'm like, okay. And then they talk about like, the ones that are like the red cloaks, and they're like a different fabric. Those are the basically the hookers of the realm. I can't remember. They had a nicer name for it, but that's what they were. Because that was a job path. You could do that. You could be an assassin. You could be yeah, you had to like you would like sign your kids up. Like if you had a kid while you were working for the madam, your kid was basically like, they're going to grow up and do this, and they're going to continue to pay off your debt. Or you could like assign them to a different pathway. Like you could assign them to a specific. It was very weird. But I just remember her cloaks being like hundreds, like a status symbol. And I'm just like, that's ridiculous. And that's not realistic. And now I'm like, no, that feels pretty on brand. Like after seeing how intense it would be to actually like make it, and just how expensive fabric is in general, like nice fabric. Because fun fact, you can't use the same needle for cotton that you do for silk. Like it's because of the way that silk is. So I do get it now. If I get more confident in my sewing, I will make you a $200 cloak, because it will still probably cost that in fabric. Can it be like a spring one though? Do you need it to be warm? We'll do like a fall spring.
I guess it depends on how long it's going to take you to make it, as what season I'm going to wear it in.
I make it once, you can wear it all the time.
I'm talking about when you finally get it done, as to what season it will be.
Well, in Ohio, it's like winter all the time, and then spring, and then summer. It's like winter, 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 winter.
So, any closing remarks? We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
No.
Dryer's done.
Yes, it is. Thank God. Nope. Happy. Are we going to do this next week with Thanksgiving? Yeah.
What does Thanksgiving have to do with anything?
I don't know.
That's on a
Thursday. It's a holiday.
That's on a Thursday.
It's a holiday weekend.
Yeah, it's a holiday weekend. What do you think this is? You think we got like some multi-million-dollar company backing this right now?
No, it's just
we're just in a corner of the basement. There's not even any soundproofing in this room.
In this room.
Yeah, well, the other room is to play Magic when the baby's sleeping.
That's right.
And anything
That's all
else.
I got. Hopefully, I'll be done with my witch book, and we'll have started a romance, because I need a palate cleanser. I think after a fantasy and a horror, I think I'm going to need a nice, happy ending. I
got 4 hours left of Heretical Fishing.
You can do it.
So I should have that finished by next week. And I'm not sure if I'll listen to number 3 right now, or I just found out that and I've been meaning to get to that book for a long time. So I might take over that one.
I've heard it's very good.
Oh, no, I know it's good. At one point, I read half of it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You did.
I don't remember what happened as to why I stopped. I fell into, a hole, and then I never went back to that one.
I think it got to the busy season because you were like physically reading it.
Yeah, I don't 100% remember. Yeah. But yeah, if I listen to it, I mean, it's only 27 hours, so that's
easy peasy for you.
Yeah, by the time I breaks it down, it'll probably be like 21.
Oh, also
22.
Anybody, the 5 people that listen to our podcast, the second trailer for Project Hail Mary came out. You guys should go watch it. It was great.
Oh yeah, trailer looks good. They reimagined. They made Rocky a little bit different than expected.
A little less scary.
We can talk about
he
that
looks
another
cute.
time. Yeah, he looks adorable.
So. Our child was not a fan. No, he was straight terrified.
Well, there were a couple times like when the sun popped up, he'd go, "Wow!" Wow. Then the other time, no.
So
silly boy.
So you should read it, and then go watch the trailer. Yep. Comes out in March.
Yep, March 20th, I think it was. But not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Unless you want to be. Somebody send this to the studio.
I don't even know what studio.
We'll do a whole episode about that movie, even though it
we could compare and contrast about the whole book.
There's probably going to be some differences. We'll talk about that another time. We need to finish those off. It's been a while.
And that has been TBR.
That's been the Together.
TBR Together.
Yep.
With Meghan and Jake.
There it is. It's over.